When the closing bell rang, nobody in the room knew, how could they, that a massive $125 billion empire was being driven to extinction all because of a single, arrogant $1 million rejection. They were once the absolute rulers of the Internet. That is, until a simple code written by two university students triggered Silicon Valley's greatest tragedy. It all started with a simple directory where two Stanford students listed websites. In the late 90s, the Internet literally meant Yahoo. If you weren't on that purple-logoed homepage, you simply didn't exist in the digital world, much like today's Instagram or YouTube. The company was growing so fast that stock market analysts struggled to set a ceiling price. Cash flow poured into the headquarters like an unstoppable river. However, the boardroom windows were so high and their eyes were so blinded by greed that they never saw the storm rapidly approaching below. In 1998, two young engineers knocked on their door and offered them a brand new search engine algorithm. The selling price was a mere $1 million. Yahoo executives looked at the papers on the table, smiled faintly, and condescendingly rejected the offer. With pure ego, they stated, "We want our users to stay on our site longer, not find what they are looking for so quickly." Those two young men were Larry Page and Sergey Brin. The algorithm they created was named Google, but the truly shocking financial move was yet to come. Because this wouldn't be the first or last decision where Yahoo dug its own grave. Years went by and Google was devouring market share. Yahoo, meanwhile, couldn't decide what it wanted to be. Were they a technology company or a media giant? They changed CEOs constantly. Every incoming leader threw the previous one's strategy straight into the trash. Shares plummeted. Panic set in. Panic sell orders were placed. Though it wasn't just panic selling, psyches were shattered and the system collapsed. The boardroom had turned into a war zone, and the executives were at a complete loss. Finally, in 2002, they realized their mistake and sat down at the table again to buy Google. This time, Google demanded $5 billion. Yahoo's CEO, Terry Semel, gambled. He found the price too high and absurdly walked away from the table. And at that exact moment, an urgent phone call from the stock market would reveal that the billions of dollars in the company's vaults were actually nothing but an illusion. There were only hours left before the stock market opened, and the lights at headquarters stayed on until morning. Liquidity was drying up. One final move was needed to save the company, and that move would come from a completely unexpected name. In 2006, a young man named Mark Zuckerberg agreed to sell his nascent social network to Yahoo. The price, $1 billion. The deal was ready. Signatures were about to be penned. However, right at that moment, Yahoo's shares plummeted 22% due to a poor earnings report. The CEO, taking advantage of this crisis, lowered the offer to $850 million. Furious, Zuckerberg tore up the papers and stormed out of the meeting. Yahoo had let Facebook slip through its fingers as well. Wait a minute, don't miss that hidden detail in the balance sheet. Because in the midst of all this destruction, Yahoo had made the luckiest yet most incompetent investment in history. When the vault was opened and the secret accounting records were exposed, it became clear there was nothing left to save. In 2008, Microsoft wanted to buy Yahoo for $44.6 billion. Out of sheer pride, Yahoo rejected this too. Everyone thought the company would somehow recover, that such a massive giant could not completely vanish. But the real shock came in 2016. That iconic empire, which once ruled over $125 billion and pushed away Google and Facebook with the back of its hand, was acquired by Verizon for a mere $4.48 billion. The sale price was equal to just a few weeks of Google's advertising revenue at the time. That purple-logoed giant, which we call bankrupt or wiped out today, was once the sole master of the digital universe. The silence of its founders in its final days was the clearest proof of how a multi-billion-dollar hubris was mercilessly punished by the market. In short, never forget where you came from, and never look down on others from a high horse. The consequences can be bitterly painful.